Hey guys, Mr. Wheel Gunner back with you again with a kind of a tabletop overview of the Ruger Super GP100. Yep, that's right. Now for a while, Ruger has been, well, kind of dropping hints that they were going to go into some kind of formal performance direction. We've seen the Ruger GP100 match champion. We've seen the SP101 match champion. We've seen the Ruger precision rifles. And so, yeah, not too long ago, Ruger went formal with a performance type division with their custom shop. And the Super GP100 is the first revolver out of that custom shop. So here we go. Let's start off with the case it comes with. A lot of these high performance guns come in some fairly nice cases. Some come in those fancy display cases. Well, this one is was more on the functional side. This is an SKB travel case. So yeah, this thing it's very sturdy. It's built to travel with you. You can see it's got the two external ports or holes to put your external locks through. The latches are very high quality. In fact, the entire case is high quality. If you look on the front here, it has an automatic pressure relief valve built in. So yeah, this thing is built to be checked in and to travel on an airplane with you. I think this is a really good move here by Ruger. It kind of shows they're in touch with the product that they're marketing to you. This is the Super GP100 is marketed as a competition revolver, and guess what competition shooters often have to do? Yeah, they often have to travel, and oftentimes they travel on an airplane. So it makes sense that this competition revolver does indeed come with a travel case. Opening up the case and we get to the goodies inside. Let's get the little ancillary things. Excuse me. Ooh, let's get some of the ancillary things out of the way here. You get this fancy red envelope with the silver foil seal on it. Looks really highfalutin here. Inside of this thing is a certificate of authenticity. You get a Ruger branded silicone cloth, and check this out, a Ruger challenge coin with the Ruger Custom Shop logo and their slogan, the Ruger slogan, on the other side. Yeah, this is just ancillary stuff. Some people might call this fluff, and yeah, I would have to agree, but I like seeing this. I really do. This is a kind of an upscale, shall we say, highfalutin type product, and this makes me feel pretty good about my purchase. It's a really nice little thing to include with the Super GP100. Moving on, here are the 3 moon clips that it comes with. So yes, the revolver is cut from the factory. The cylinder of the revolver, I should say, is cut from the factory to accept moon clips. And of course, here's the gun lock. All right, moving on to the main event, the revolver itself. Okay, before we continue, I know what some of you, well, maybe most of you are thinking. Whoo, wow, you thought the Performance Center from Smith & Wesson made some guns with polarizing looks. Well, yeah, this is in that same territory. We'll get to the aesthetics a little bit later. Size-wise, I can see why Ruger calls this the Super GP100 because, well, it looks like a GP100 that's been power-fed and grown to the size of the Red Hawk. It looks like a .44 Magnum frame. Of course, this is in 357 Magnum, but because Ruger upsized it, guess what? They can bore out the cylinder for 8 shots. That's right, an 8-shot 357 Magnum. And like I said earlier, the cylinder is cut from the factory to take moon clips. Speaking of the cylinder, yeah, that's some pretty dramatic fluting here from Ruger. I'm guessing this is well, obviously to cut down on weight, which will then cut down on the rotating mass of the cylinder. So this isn't something that's just done to make it different or to make it stand out. There's an actual engineering reason for doing this, again, to cut down the weight and cut down on the rotating mass. Moving on to the barrel, and you can see that the shroud is it has cutouts, the lightning cuts to lighten the overall weight of the gun, and you can see the barrel inside. So yes, the Super GP100 uses the sleeve and shroud barrel system. I know this is going to be somewhat controversial because in some ways the sleeve and shroud, well, it can be seen and used as a cost-cutting measure. With the sleeve and shroud system, you simply thread the barrel into the frame pretty much by hand, and then the shroud is slipped over and indexed to the frame. Each manufacturer will have a different way of indexing the shroud to the frame. It's probably some kind of pin. Maybe there's a pin on the frame that indexes to a keyhole on the shroud, or vice versa. Anyway, with the sleeve and shroud, if everything is machined correctly, you really don't have to worry about a barrel that's under torqued or over torqued, because the shroud will self-index, and then you just simply tighten it down. This produces a tension barrel, which is more rigid than a non-tension barrel, and in theory, this will make the gun with the tension barrel more accurate than a gun without the tension barrel. So yes, I can see where some people will make the argument that, oh, the sleeve and shroud, it's cheapened, it's a cheaper revolver. Yeah, but I consider this a win-win. It'll be less costly for the manufacturer to produce, and as long as the implementation of sleeve and shroud, again, the sleeve and shroud design is proven, it works. It's up to the manufacturer to properly implement it into the firearm. So if the sleeve and shroud system is done right, it's a win-win. Less manufacturing cost for the manufacturer, and you also get a more accurate revolver. Moving to the front of the gun, we can see that Ruger put a very nice 11-degree target crown to finish off the muzzle. The rear sight has the familiar white bracket found on many of Ruger's revolvers, and it is fully adjustable for windage and elevation. The front sight is nice and tall and has a green fiber optic. Unlike the standard GP100, the Super GP100 does not have the quick change front sight system. So on the Super GP100, the front sight is dovetailed in. The grips are wood and are actually made by Hogue. There's really nice contouring on the grips. It feels very comfortable. It does have the Coke bottle shape, so there's a nice palm swell in the middle, but it's not the fat Coke bottle grip like on the old school Smith & Wesson Coke bottle grip. So this one is I don't know, I think of it as kind of like a short frame version of the Target style Coke bottle grips. It's really, really well done. Feels really nice in your hand. So how does the trigger feel? Well, single action mode, not too many surprises here. Any revolver in single action mode is going to have a very light, very crisp trigger. Double action mode, very smooth. Now, unfortunately, I've not been able to get to the range yet with the Super GP100, but don't worry, that is next on the list. Don't worry, I really do want to get to the range with this thing, and I will post an updated video with some range footage and also my impressions of the gun after I've fired some live ammo through it. But okay, going on to the thing I talked about earlier, the gun's looks. Yeah, it's going to be fairly polarizing. I don't think it's the prettiest gun out there, but yeah, not exactly the ugliest gun out there. At the very least, the gun looks rather striking. It's got this, I don't know, it looks like a gun that would have come out of some 1980s Western sci-fi, type of movie. You got the wooden grip, so it kind of gives it that old school, old world flavor. But then you've got that vented shroud. which exposes the barrel underneath, and yeah, that kind of gives it that sci-fi look to it. So yeah, I wouldn't consider it a complete fail, but not exactly a home run in the looks department. It is what it is. Now, like I said, I still haven't gotten to the range with this thing, so I'll hold I won't do a final verdict until I actually get to shoot the thing. But let me just say that I like the fact that Ruger has formally entered the competition area with their custom shop. I mean, let's be honest. I think we all know who Ruger has in their sights. That's right, the Smith & Wesson Performance Center. I like this. I like this a lot. So I think Smith & Wesson has ran for far too long unopposed in that particular market segment. Competition usually ends up in a win for us consumers. When companies fight for our dollar, we get all the benefits of that. So anyway, this wraps it up for now, and again, look for an update video after I'm able to go to the range for this thing. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.